Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Temi and for today I want to make a really important video, especially with the political climate right now in the world. I think that this is a very necessary video, how race and religion and Christianity work together. And I'm also going to offer some solutions to move forward in this climate with love, because right now all we see is hate, all we see is fear, and all we see is evil. As we know, love can overcome fear. Love can overcome evil, and love and good always beat evil every single time. So let's start from the beginning, okay, with Jesus. One of the biggest controversies around Jesus being whether or not he was black or if he was white, and what the white Jesus is all about and everything like that. So I really want to address that. The origins of the white Jesus. So the white Jesus as an image was created for two reasons. I think it was created because Europeans were just getting the message of Jesus, and like all other people's response to Jesus, they created him in their own image with blonde hair, blue eyes, and that's the image we still see most of the time today in our portrayal of Jesus. And it was also created and used as a tool to oppress black people because they didn't want them to see him being depicted as maybe the more historically accurate view of him, which would have been maybe brown or Middle Eastern looking. The white Jesus was definitely used to oppress black people through colonialization, and they would teach them about Jesus, but they wanted them to have in mind the idea that Jesus was white so that it was more distant for them. So their savior wasn't somebody that looked like them, it was this white man. They viewed that, oh, they're gonna take us out of the dirty huts we're living in Africa, and they're gonna save us and bring us to America and have a better life in some form. You know, some people even still will make the argument for slavery, saying that it was just like an unpaid internship. I've seen some descriptions of slavery like that. In the white man's mind, they were the savior. They used the image of a white Jesus to oppress us, and we more so glorified white people and viewed them as being more superior to us because Jesus was white and, you know, he's our savior. That's kind of the beginning also of like white supremacy. Another problematic thing in this time was they had forced conversion to Christianity, and that again is wrong according to the Bible, because Jesus instructed his disciples to go out in the most peaceful way, try and spread the gospel, and if people didn't accept it, they were supposed to just dust their feet and keep it moving. There was never a point where Jesus explained to force anybody. Christianity, like in life, is about freedom. You have the freedom to accept or deny Jesus, and it cannot be forced. Another reason for colonialization is, of course, money and capitalism, making money through slaves that worked for free. So we can see then that money really was the root of the problem. It was definitely white supremacy, but it was to create class levels that put black people at the very bottom and then elevated white people to have more wealth in this system that we are still dealing with today. As we can see with class conflict and poverty in America and around the world, it's a result of white supremacy and the way that they misused Christianity. I understand a lot of people don't like religion because of this reason, because it is a very powerful tool that politicians use to control people and to have power. But that to me is honestly more why I like religion, because yes, it can be distorted and used for evil, but it's obviously very powerful and can be used for good. These are all distortions of the truth and not actually the truth itself. For me, I look at myself more as a biblically based believer. It's not so much about the religion to me, it's more about the Bible and what the actual core text says and nothing else, because the devil does distort the meaning of the book for other agendas like money and division and conflict. The beliefs in the Bible and what happened through colonialism are completely conflicting and do not represent what is actually taught. But back to the race of Jesus. The Bible seemed to leave out this seemingly important detail of Jesus's ethnic race. You know, we get all the other details of Jesus. We know exactly where he was born. You know, he was born as a virgin. We know at what age he led his ministry. We know a lot of details about his life, but the specific detail was left out. And I think this was part of God's plan, because if we actually knew Jesus' true race, it would only lead to more division. It truly doesn't matter what race he was. For me, us not knowing exactly what Jesus' race is, we have the freedom to kind of imagine him as whatever we choose to. So if you're Asian, you can imagine Jesus as Asian. If you're Mexican, you can imagine Jesus as Mexican. For me, I imagine Jesus as a black man with an afro because it makes me more confident in my hair And when I see those historical images of him with a circle halo around him, I imagine that to be his amazingly awesome afro that he had because he was a black man. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion. Opinion is not something to get into arguments about. These debates are very, very pointless and fruitless and do not matter. I think anyone can identify with whatever Jesus they want to, but the problem was that image was used to oppress black people. But I feel like we should all have the freedom to imagine Jesus as whatever we like. Jesus, like us all, is a child of God. God, is described in the Bible, is light, and light, as we know, when is refracted, reflects all colors. That's why humanity is so colorful and we all come in such different shades and colors and hues. It's amazingly beautiful how diverse the human race is, but we have one Father in heaven who is light itself. Humans are 99.9% the same. We are all the exact same. The only difference is the color of our skin. The Church of God is one family across different nations, across different countries, languages, ethnicities. It doesn't matter because we are one family. The Bible is translated in every single language because God is not limited to one language. God knows all languages. He understands everything we say. Even when we're speaking in tongues and speaking an unknown language to ourselves, God understands because He's unlimited. The number one most important commandment we were asked to practice was love towards God and towards other people. It's to love other people as ourselves. It doesn't matter if they're black, it doesn't matter if they're white, it doesn't matter if they're poor or rich. We're supposed to love each other as ourselves. It sounds easy enough, but it's so hard, and I'm still struggling to do this. You know, love is so complex and so hard, and especially with hate and the amount of differences there seems to be within us. With police brutality today, their agenda is to create violence and chaos. We need to act really wisely as we approach this insanely hard situation that we're all in. You know, the people versus the state. That's what it always comes down to, and I think police brutality is a very clear example of that. The way the state is trying to oppress us. They are directing hate towards us, and we need to respond in love because unlike other revolutions, I don't know if you haven't noticed yet, but there's a revolution happening. And we need to be different from the people that came before us. There have been revolutions throughout history, but the way those revolutions always come to place is through violence, it's through killing, it's through death. But I am challenging us to break the cycle. Revolution I am proposing we try to have as a society today is one of love. The word love is inside the word revolution. I think that's the only way we can actually make a change and make a difference, because if we just respond in violence, we're going absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. We all have a surface level understanding of what love is. You know, I love my mom, I love my dad. But even in those relationships, we don't always exhibit true love towards each other, which is why we have conflicts within our own relationships, why we have divorce, because we don't actually know what love truly is. And in this situation, guys, we need to show true love. I'm going to give us the definition that comes from the creator of this concept and what he believes love is. And I'm also going to explain how we should love our enemies, because loving those that love us is easy. Anybody can do that. But the challenge today is to love those that hate us. That is the higher calling that Jesus came to usher. Love those that hate you. No matter how hard it is. Guys, I'm a black woman and I have had people say the N-word to my face, and I don't respond in violence because not only is that the reaction they're looking for and I don't want to give them that satisfaction, but it's the only way we can move forward. You know, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe you're just really ignorant and I hope you do better next time. I forgive you, but let's do better next time. But let me really break down what the word love means. Love is patient. We need to be patient towards those that don't have the same belief as us, hoping that one day they'll change. I was talking to my Italian friend and she was telling me about her grandfather who was very, very racist her entire life. It wasn't until he was 60 and one of his neighbors was black and he got to know that man that he changed his mind and he stopped being a racist, and for the last 15 years of his life he was an activist against racism. It took him until he was 60 to make the change, but the change is possible. Wouldn't you believe that a 60-year-old man it's too late for him? But no, it just takes the right encounter with the right people, because racism is wrong. It is the wrong opinion. So maybe if they become educated on what is right, they may change. We need to be patient with people as God is patient with us. We are so problematic as human beings. You know, we continue to sin every single day. We do it every single day. And God is still so patient with us. And people that are non-believers, God doesn't kill all non-believers because we wouldn't be here today, guys. God is so patient with us that he gives all of us a chance every single day, a new chance to be better. So we need to exhibit some of what that patience God has for us towards other people. Love is kind. Don't respond to hate with hate. If somebody looks at me in the eye and calls me the N-word, there's gonna be a moment in my mind where I'm like, wow, I'm so offended, that was awful. But I have to remember to be kind to everybody and just be like, you know what, sir? I hope you have an amazing day today, with a smile, and walk away. Because if I respond with yelling and screaming and now I'm getting all nasty back, he's gonna one, feel like, oh look, black people are terrible and rude. Look how she responded to me. Even though yes, he provoked me, my response is gonna in a way justify his behavior. There's no positive outcome with being hateful back. So we just need to be kind to those that are, again, hateful towards us or hateful in general. Love does not envy. This I think is a really important point, because yes, there's white supremacy, but a response I've started to notice is kind of black supremacy and people being like, black is better. I mean, like, I understand that on some level we want to uplift each other because we've been oppressed for so long. We can never truly love each other if we don't love ourselves. So we need to definitely love ourselves and not envy others. Don't succumb to the belief of your enemies. White supremacy will not be defeated by black supremacy. It won't happen. That's not going to lead to a positive outcome. We don't want a world where it's flipped and white people are slaves and we're the leaders. That's not what we're looking for, guys. Remember, we want equality, equal on earth as it is from God's perspective. And we want on earth for that to be the same principle, that we are all equal. And self-hate is a response to racism. I think this is kind of a twofold problem. I feel like white people, when they are hating black people, trying to oppress us so bad, I think it's because they see things in us that they're envious of and they like, so they want to oppress us, so maybe we don't see it in ourselves, or they can try to uplift themselves because they see something they want that they can't have, so they want to oppress us to, in a way, hopefully uplift themselves. You know, being the target of white supremacy for a lifetime, it's hard to be taught that white is beautiful, to be taught that an afro is ugly and kinky. Like, those are really negative things that will really deteriorate your self-confidence. So yes, black is beautiful, it is. So is being white, and so is being any other color. It matters what's inside more than anything. So if you have that inner beauty, it'll show out. Love does not boast. Yes, being black is beautiful. Yes, I love being black. I feel like when we are prideful with that topic, it almost starts to become black is better. It becomes black power. We're breaking the cycle and not boasting about who we are. I'm not better than anyone because I'm black. Nobody's better than me because they're white. We are the same. God is no respecter of persons. It doesn't matter if you're a king. It doesn't matter anything that you are. It's the content of your character that God judges us on, not the color of our skin. Because there's room to boast in the Bible, okay? It says we can boast about God. We can boast, wow, I have the best God. Wow, God is so good. You know, God is so powerful. Like, we can boast on him, but not on anything that we've done. I haven't done anything to be black. I was just born this way, so I can't boast on that. You know what I mean? Love is not proud. Don't become your enemy, please. It's very, very tricky being proud of certain things that, again, we can't control, guys. Remember, I'm a Nigerian. I'm not necessarily proud to be Nigerian. I'm also not embarrassed to be Nigerian. That's just where I was born. That's my ethnicity. That's who I am. I'm black, but I'm not necessarily proud to be black. I'm just black, guys. It's just the color of my skin. It doesn't really matter to me, like, at all. I don't like people because they're black. I don't dislike people because they're white. I like people because of who they are. I like people because of their personality. I like people if they're funny or not. You know what I mean? You're not having a revolution the same way it usually is, because what usually happens after a revolution is the same class structure but with a different name and a few more rights, a slightly better position, but it's still the same slave and slave master. It's the human race, it's nothing else. I'm proud to be a human. I'm proud to be a child of God, not a Nigerian. That's not where I get my pride from. I'm proud to be a follower of Christ. That's it. That's it. Love does not dishonor. Be respectful to everybody, no matter their race. I'm really here to challenge both white and black people in this video because we have the ability to get carried away. It's equality, nothing more, nothing less. Don't dishonor somebody because they're not doing it the way you're doing it. I've been seeing a lot of conversation online about, oh, you're not posting on social media. oh my gosh, you're canceled. Everyone kind of expresses themselves differently. You know, everyone has a different relationship with God. Everybody has different relationships with people, different relationships with social media. Don't berate someone because they're not doing it like you're doing it, or they're not doing it how you want them to be doing it. It's more than that. It's about what's in your heart. I can have all the love for the Black Lives Matter movement and not post it on social media, and that's my business. Love is not self-seeking. Equality is for the betterment of society, not for personal agendas. A lot of people, I feel, are probably like coming out with t-shirt lines. Like, that's awesome, guys, that's cool, but don't look at this revolution as a time to make money. When one person succeeds, we all succeed, but really we should try to get everybody to succeed. The idea of the celebrity, white people use this to defend racism. They're like, what do you mean Black people don't have opportunities? Oprah and Michael Jordan, like, there's tons of famous Black people. Not really. There's like a few hundred, there's a handful, and then the rest of us are still living in like poverty, or we just don't have the same kind of opportunities. I guess it's not just if one of us succeeds, we all succeed. It's all of us together, you know? This is a group come up. If I succeed, I'm sharing my wealth. You know, I want to succeed personally because I want to be able to employ people. I want to be able to help other people. I want to be able to be charitable and helping other people. I'm not here self-seeking for my own glory. I'm not here to lead the revolution and become the next MLK so I can be famous. Like, that's not what it's about. People that are stealing from stores, that is very, very selfish, because yes, okay, cool, you got a few $100 of things for free, awesome, but now the entire community is facing consequences. We need to understand that our lives and this everything that's going on is so much more big than one person. It's so much bigger than my personal agendas. This is literally history. This is literally going to affect communities, people around the world, all of our actions in these times. Guys, we are living in history, as we know. Look at yourself and your actions. Is what I'm doing for myself, or is it for everybody because I'm trying to put everybody on? The next one, really important, guys. Love is not easily angered. I know we've been marching for a long time. I know we've been doing a lot of the same things. That's not time to get angry. That's time to think of new solutions. It's insanity, guys. You can't do the same thing every time and expect new results. Okay, marching isn't really helping. We know that now. It's not time to get angry and start rioting. It's time to come up with new solutions that are more productive. Like, I don't know, disturbing the economy, or I don't know, having those hard conversations, guys. I think the most productive thing we can do, honestly, is having more open dialogue. And these important dialogues need to be outside of people of your realm of influence. Try and have conversations with government officials or police officers, or just other kinds of people that don't necessarily look like you. When you get angry at a problem, you punch somebody in the face, acting based on your emotions, that's when you do things that are destructive. But when you actually, you know, you get angry about something, but you sit on it and you think about, okay, what's the best way for me to channel my anger? That's when you can be productive and make positive change. Guys, do not repeat history. We're not here to repeat history and do the same things people have been doing. We are here to be productive and be progressive. We are looking forward towards the future and forgetting the past. We're looking at the past to learn what not to do and move forward to the future, guys. Wow, that perfectly ties in with my last point on what love is, guys. Love, I want to cry saying this. Oh my goodness. Love keeps no record of wrongs. This is like the hardest one, I think. This is the hardest one because a lot of bad things have happened to especially Black communities. You know, we are literally the victims of this situation. You know, I'm Nigerian, so I wasn't part of the slavery thing, but my people experienced colonialism. In Africa still, we are living in poverty because of what's happening and the history of it all. But to move forward in love, there comes a point where we have to forget the things of the past, because even though those things still affect me today, nobody alive today did colonialism. Nobody alive today did slavery. So those are things of the past, and we cannot move forward if that's all we're thinking about and we want to bring up the past, because nobody today that's alive is responsible for slavery. And it's not fair to still blame white people today for it, because they did not do that. They are not their parents. You know, Black people love to say this too. I'm not my ancestors. They are not their ancestors either, okay? Forget the past and keep no records of wrongs. That's the only way we can move forward. What I'm asking is a higher calling. Love, it's transient, it's infinite, and it's reflective of the kind of love the all-powerful God shows us. Through the death of Jesus Christ, our sins are not only forgiven, but they are forgotten. God wipes them away and gives us a brand new clean slate to move forward in. We must forget the past and look forward to a future of community, a future of love, a future of equality, a future of peace. We are creating the future. Only the living can create the future, guys. And the past can only remember the past or be forgotten. So when it comes to these revolutions, we need you alive. That's why I don't want any kind of violent revolution as well, because it is unproductive. And once we start showing violence towards the state, they have the right to show us violence back. Don't get it twisted. They're gonna start shooting into the crowds, and they're going to have some legal right to do that. And in the Bible it says, if you draw the sword, you will die by the sword. So once we start getting violent, we have every right to also die. You can't do anything productive when you're dead. So we need to live and work together to build a positive future, because that's the only way we can. If you're filled with hate and violence, you'll eventually kill yourself or your people or your community. Let us build communities of love. Love is a lifetime journey. It's something that's going to take us a lifetime to learn. Hate will never win. Let's not repeat cycles, and let's please do better. That is everything for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel for the next video. Share this video. I hope it was impactful on some level. I hope to see you in the future. And have an amazing day.